let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Happy to see everybody today. And we have new information about Jack DeCoeur. Jules with True Crime Reactions showed a new video interview from him last night. I am not showing her video. She just got it, showed it last night. She's graciously downloading it into her Google Drive, shared drive that she has. I've been checking. I haven't seen it in there yet, so it's fine. I did clip some certain little pieces that we're gonna look at, listen to, talk about. It was wild. Hi, Bubbly. Hi, Ro. Hey, Jen. Hi, Michelle. Donna Salamander. Good to see you. Songs of the Siren. Hello. Stephen W. Welcome in, everybody. Legal swag. We need some legal swag. Oh my gosh, did you guys watch Truth and Transparency last night? Hi, Carol B. Hey, Becca. I was like screaming, cheering in the background because I've been saying for a few weeks now that with the EWU lawsuit that's going on over the FOIA requests, that I felt like all the creators who have been paying all these exorbitant costs for the FOIAs should become interveners, right? Like, I keep hearing that it's the Chapin family that's intervening in the EWU lawsuit, but I thought I heard Karen Laramie. I thought it was about Maddie. So I'm a little confused about that. I was pretty confident it was Maddie's mom that's intervening in the EWU lawsuit, but their concern, of course, is, graphic personal information. So Truth and Transparency last night, she said she's getting in the game. It's both of them. I don't know. There was only one attorney. Is he representing both families? I don't know. I need to check that out. Hi, Sarah, by the way. Hello. What do interveners do? So EWU is the one that is bringing the official, lawsuit because they put in a FOIA request and it didn't get fulfilled. Amongst other issues. So they filed the lawsuit. An intervener is somebody that's like, this lawsuit affects me personally. Like I have a stake in the game. And so the families are saying, hey, if you release everything completely unredacted, it's going to affect us. So we're going to intervene in this case and have our own attorney. And then we're going to state like what we want. So they're kind of like on the side with the city of Moscow, kind of, even though they're their own like third party part. So I'm like, hey, all the YouTubers that have paid all these FOIAs, they have stake in the game. They've been, I think, horribly, that law about FOIAs has been neglected, in my opinion. Overly charged, overly redacted, and it has affected them financially for sure. So I saw a lot of people say, Bill Thompson was probably like, just allegedly, just, delay, right? So yeah, just real quick, last night, Lana at Truth and Transparency said she's going to become an intervener. She was like doing it live a little bit, like so exciting. I think that is, it's needed for sure. So yeah, it's Friday around here, getting ready for the weekend. Carlos is on his way home from a business trip. I'm excited to finally get him back home. Looking forward to that. Getting ready for a yard sale tomorrow. I hate doing yard sales. Do you guys do yard sales in this? I like to go to them. I don't like to have them. But our neighborhood is doing one. We do like a block thing. So I'm like, all right, let's clear out the house. So after I get off this live, that's what I'm going to do. So let's get into it with Jack DeCoeur. A quick overview. Some of the things that I clipped are they asked him about that phone call with Kaylee. His answers were different with that. We heard bombshell information about Murphy, the dog. Lots of names. I mean, Jack was dropping the names or the police were asking him about names. And of course they were redacted. We couldn't hear them, but luckily we could hear like the first like beginning sound of the first name. So I think we're able to like pretty much be able to pinpoint who these people are. I am going to start right off with the very first clip. I was listening to Jules last night, kind of in and out, listening to the interview. And then I paused it so that when I woke up this morning, I continued on. And this morning, it was towards the end of the video. I'll give you the timestamp of it. And I was listening and I was like, did I just hear this right? So I went to my mods and I'm like, and I didn't, I had clipped it and I said, hey, tell me what you hear. And it was a very short clip. And so they were kind of like, I'm not sure, and then one of them was like, said exactly what I heard. And I was like, oh my God, okay. I heard it right. So I'm going to share it with you and see what you think. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to make a big deal about what the content is. I don't care about what is said. I am curious about why it had to be kept a secret. Like, and as most things in this case, right? Like, and then it makes you think, oh, so then it's a big deal. You were keeping it a secret, so it must be a big deal. Now, this one, I think it might be secret just because it truly does affect somebody's personal information. But I keep saying we're in 2026 and it should not matter. Giving you guys a big build up here. Hope it's worth it. All right, so let's get to this one. If you have headphones, you might want your headphones in. It's super short. Like I just clipped exactly what's said, so I will play it a couple times, okay?
And I did have a boyfriend. I know she has.
I don't know if I believe that.
Your boyfriend's right?
Yeah.
So the two girls are coming home from the bar, both having been at least somewhat inebriated. In the realm of possibilities.
Let me see if I have the closed captioning one. I did put the closed captioning on. Hello? Hold on. I hope I put the closed captioning on. Although it's kind of good just to go by hearing. Here it is. I got it. This is the closed captioning one.
Had any sexual contact or anything like that, and I did have a boyfriend. I know she has.
I don't know if I believe that.
Your boyfriend's right?
Yeah.
So the two girls are coming home from the bar.
Let me know what you hear. I'm not sure if the very first thing, well, you just listen and then we'll talk about it.
Had any sexual contact or anything like that, and I did have a boyfriend. I know she has.
I don't know if I believe that.
Your boyfriend's right?
Yeah.
So the two girls are coming home from the bar.
Okay. So this is an Idaho State Police interview, okay? He did say your boyfriend. Yes. Now in the beginning, if you watch the closed captioning, it says I did have a boyfriend, but I don't believe that I is correct because the ISP officer is asking about Maddie. Okay. So he's getting information about Maddie, who's her boyfriend, any other people she's hanging out with, all this stuff. So I do believe at the very beginning, it says Maddie, and it's just picking up the I don't know. Maddie had a boyfriend, but then the officer just kind of slips in, your boyfriend is blank, right? And I'm like, what? What? I mean, I don't care. It's and hopefully his friends and the people around him wouldn't treat him horribly if that's true. But you guys, to me, I'm just like, put it in the bigger context of like we've been hearing. In fact, I pulled it up in the book. Okay. In the book, there's an interview with one of Kaylee's friends. And she's saying how Kaylee talked about Jack being like a child, right? Like they were just more good friends. He was like her child. Things like that. And I'm like, if they just became more platonic and then maybe he opened up to her, if that's true, I just think that's a huge secret This is Jack DeCoeur. This is Jack DeCoeur saying this. I'll play it again. So this is the ISP interviewer asking about Maddie's boyfriends. And then he slips in and he says, your boyfriend is blank, right? And he's interviewing Jack DeCoeur. So he's talking to him.
Had any sexual contact or anything like that. And I did have a boyfriend. I know she has.
I don't know if I believe that.
Your boyfriend's right.
Yeah.
So
Unless he's talking about Kaylee. Unless he's talking about Kaylee. Because he was saying I didn't have any sexual contact. I could go back when I feel better, like using the whole entire video and everything like that. We'll go back and put it like completely in context. And I'm not saying this is 1000% sure. So let's not go out there and saying this is absolute fact, because we don't know that because of the redactions. And this is another reason, like they're thinking these redactions are helping them. And in a lot of cases, it's hurting them because we're going to hear what we hear, and because that's all you're allowing us to hear. And then we're going to make assumptions because you won't let us hear the whole thing. Like, let us hear everything. Well, I'm showing the wrong thing. I keep going to the wrong thing. There we go.
the two girls are coming home from the bar.
Had any sexual contact or anything like that. And I did have a boyfriend. I know she has.
I don't know if I believe that.
Your boyfriend's right.
Yeah.
So the two girls are coming home from the bar.
So I was going to look up, there should be a report about this, right? There should be an Idaho State report about this. So let me find that. I have a bunch more clips to show too. I have a bunch more clips, but maybe the written report will give us more context. And even though the reports are also heavily redacted, sometimes we can see initials, or based on the context, we can figure out what they are talking about. What do you guys think about that? Do you think like it's nothing and it's out of context? Has anybody ever heard anything more about that? Forensic documents. These are the reports. I want the reports. That's loading. Let me see what you guys are saying. Maddie did have a boyfriend, Jake, and they are going to talk about him. So maybe it was Kaylee. Maybe it was Kaylee that they were talking about, because it didn't seem like she had a serious boyfriend. Lots of people that she dated. ISP 168. Thank you so much, Sarah D. I was going to do the search thing. Let's go right to 168 and see. What's this? Oh, look at that. I went to 169 right away. This might be it. Detective Van Leuven. Are they combining reports? First, let me make sure. Yep. He was the ex-boyfriend. Thank you, Sarah D. Wow, you are good, good, good. Thank you so much. You know, this is concerning right off the bat, because this says Detective I, Detective Sergeant Van Leuven, interviewed blank on several occasions beginning on November 15th. Well, the interview we are watching is from November 17th. Did they just combine all the interview information into one document? And if they did, I hope they did not leave things out. So let's see here. Let's get to the part where he was talking, where they were talking about boyfriends. Okay, here we go. If you have these documents and you're following along, this is line 13 or paragraph 13, and I can make this bigger. Hold on. Ooh, really big. Go down a little bit. Okay. All right. So the first 12 paragraphs must be from the 15th because the 13th was Moscow Police Department. Okay. So they met with him on the 15th. That's the first 12. And now on line 13, it says Jack returned on November 17th, accompanied by his attorney, Jed Nixon. After a brief recap of what we had discussed on November 15th, we resumed talking with Jack about his recollections. And let me do this. I don't know if it matters or not, but sometimes people follow on their TV or something. Of what had happened on the night of the homicides. Jack said he blank and blank got back to their apartment a little after 1 a.m. Well, now that we have the why won't this get off now? Now that we have that porch camera, the light bulb camera, we know we can see them like getting out of the car and everything. And so I believe isn't it even a little after the girls get home? So it's like more after 2. I'm not sure. He said his bedroom was on the main floor. He said he hung out with his friends for 10 to 15 minutes. He advised he was drunk. Okay, so that's that night. I'll go back to that part later because we're going to look at the clip about the 17-minute phone call. Right here, it just says, Jack said he did not recall the phone call and cannot explain it. So that's in the report, and we will hear the clip in a little bit. I'm trying to find the part where it talks about if he says he has a boyfriend or not. There's the part about, did they not put it in here? Because the part about Murphy, listen to this, you guys. Jack advised that he and Kaylee were co-owners of a mini golden doodle dog named Murphy, who was 11 months old. Murphy had been in the house with Kaylee and the others on the night of the murders occurred. Oh, this is interesting. On January 4th, oh my God, all the way in January, I contacted Jack, I'm assuming, through his attorney, Jed Nixon, and asked him to bring Murphy to the Idaho State Police office in Coeur d'Alene so I could take samples of Murphy's hair in January, you guys. In January. Why are they taking samples of his hair? Do you know how many baths he's had by then? I mean, I guess if you're testing like just, what does the hair look like, that would help you. But if you were looking for any kind of forensic evidence, I think, no, that's not going to be helpful. Not what he said in the interview. Chaos Detective, hello. T.K 117, hello. Oh, that's what she was talking about, the video parts. Thanks, Ro. Please go show Sarah D. Irish some love and also Bubbly. Jack does talk really quiet. He sure does. I have no idea pretty much, Kales. You guys let me know. What have you seen? Bubbly, do you know anything about Jack currently with like a love interest or partner or anything like that? Thank you. Bottom teeth Andy. He's saying your boyfriend's with Kaylee, I believe. So he's making a word plural on accident. Maybe that's not really how I hear it, but let me hear it again. I see what you're saying. Is he saying your boyfriend's with whoever? Right? I see what you're saying. That is a very weird way to say it. That's a very weird way to say it. Females, I don't think we've talked like that since, I don't know, the 70s or 80s. My girlfriends, I don't know. I guess I might say like I'm going out with my girlfriends tonight. Yes. Do guys say, "Hey, I'm going out with my boyfriends tonight"? Do guys say that? "Hey, I'm going out with my boyfriends tonight." They'll say, "Hey, I'm going camping with the boys. I'm going camping with the guys. I'm going out with the guys tonight." Like, I'm just like common ways. Did Detective Leuven say that? Maybe. Maybe he did say that. Is it weird? I think so. Yeah. My homies, my buddies, going over to my buddy's house. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to my boyfriend's house. Oh, no. No. Oh, yeah. So, all right, we will leave that be. That was one of the first things I heard and was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Let me keep looking to see. How much? You guys, how long is this interview? It's like what? Almost 40 minutes long, I think. They're all about at least a half an hour long. They've got one paragraph here. This one is about the phone call. They've got another paragraph here about the vape and the phone call. They've got another paragraph here about like his mental health, right? Him being upset and maybe needing help. They've got another paragraph here about they asked him directly if he committed the murders. He said he did not. He gave his DNA. They took his cell phone. They skipped this whole part. They skipped that whole part. There's a lot of information between what is written here and what's in this oral videotaped interview. The remainder of my conversation with Jack on November 17th involved victimology-related questions. Please see the audio recording for more details. There you go, you guys. So at least they're acknowledging. I left a whole bunch out, but it's because it's only like to get to know the victims. But it doesn't help us to see. I feel like it helps to see it on paper. There you go. 2 30-minute interviews. Yep. All right. Let me get another one here. We've got Um, mm, mm, mm. Let's hear about the dog. We'll go to the dog next.
Something you agreed to?
That part too. That's something.
Her taking the dog, is that something you agreed to?
That part too. That's something people go crazy for. A dog.
She was the one who wanted a dog, but at the time she lived in the White's apartments. And
So if you can't hear it clearly, did I put the I swear I tried to put the closed captioning on these things. He's saying Kaylee's the one that wanted the dog. Hi, Cindy, Rella, Ella. Hello. And welcome. Kaylee's the one that wanted the dog, but she lives at the Whites, and you can't have a dog at the Whites.
they're not allowed to have any dogs there, so I kind of raised the dog in my house last year. And I told her, she bought the dog with all her money. I told her, like, I'm more than happy to have this dog in my house. Come see it whenever. I'll bring it over to your place.
So the reason this is a big deal to a lot of people is because we were told by, I'll just say family members. We were told by family members that this was their joint dog. They bought the dog together. Now, I mean, I don't have to make a big deal about who financially paid for the dog. I don't think that's what's important. I think what's important is here Jack is kind of he's the one doing it. He's the one saying, it was her dog. She's the one that wanted it. Like, I don't know why, unless he's just explaining the reality. Like, so the reality is Kaylee really wanted the dog. She paid the whole amount for the dog. She was living in the Whites. She can't have a dog there. So I kept Murphy at my house, but he does say I practically raised him and trained him until Kaylee moved into King, and then she could have the dog over there. What is going on with my chat here? Is everybody? I'm not seeing updated chats. Oh, okay.
Her taking the dog, is that something you agreed to?
That part too. That's something people go crazy for. A dog.
She was the one who wanted a dog, but at the time she lived in the...
So I think he said yes, he was okay with her taking the dog, and this is why. It's hard to hear. He talks very soft.
Her taking the dog, is that something you agreed to?
That part too. That's something people go crazy for.
He said, yeah.
A dog.
She was the one who wanted a dog, but at the time she lived in the White's apartments. And they're not allowed to have any dogs there, so I kind of raised the dog in my house last year. And I told her, she bought the dog with all her money. I told her, like, I'm more than happy to have this dog in my house. Come see it whenever. I'll bring it over to your place.
The way he's speaking, I would love to hear Travis. What's Travis's whole channel? Travis T Logic. He's the one that's analyzing Dylan's interview right now for language. I would love to have him do this part because he's kind of being transactional about it. I could keep the dog at my house. I don't mind keeping the dog at my house. I don't know. He does break down though. One of the things I think is a big talking point is everybody's lack of emotion when people are being interviewed. And Jack does have a moment where he breaks down. So I'll play that next. Right here.
He's crying.
She obviously just got her new car. She had a 6-figure job lined up right out of school. She was planning, she had an apartment lined up in Austin. She was going to take our dog and, I don't know, basically just kind of start a whole life by
Away.
herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
That sounds terrible.
Why would he say that sounds terrible? Like, is he being sarcastic? Like, oh my gosh, she had her whole life together. She like had a great future ahead of her. That sounds terrible. Whoops. I'm trying to do something right here real quick. Enter. Okay. Let's do this. Courtesy of Jules. True crime. Whoops. Reactions. There we go. Hopefully it's up there. Not sure. The comment, he doesn't even call him by name. Like, is he just saying like the dog? See, that's those things that Travis would pick up, right? Language where you're like maybe distancing yourself or something like that. Yeah. I saw some other whoops. Okay, there we go. Other good comments and questions. She made me raise her dog. Now she's taking my dog away too. What did you guys think about the emotion? I mean, he did seem genuinely choked up, and at the fact of, I think, realizing the loss of a future. He was talking about her future, right? Oh my gosh. That was attempting to give empathy. Oh, this question right here. Like, why wouldn't the G's take the dog? Probably because the dog spent more time with Jack. Obviously, he said he raised him in his house at the beginning. So he calls Murphy the dog all the way through his interview. Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay. So then we have him getting emotional, the dog. Wait, I need to start writing these down. Did I play the dog clip? Yes, I did. I did. Played the dog clip, played him getting emotional. And then I have a lot about the phone calls. Okay. The 12-minute phone, 17-minute phone call. I apologize. 17-minute phone call. So I apologize that you can't see the closed captioning, because I think when I did crop the screen, and I think I cut off the text. Uh-oh. Is there no sound? What did I do?
in
Play.
2022
we go.
at 2:26 a.m. And there's a call that's it's 16.88 minutes, so almost 17 minutes in duration, which was an answered call. Do you recall that call?
I do not.
She did.
Is it a call from her?
Yeah, it's
What time was that?
He just said, yes, it was a call from her, but this phone thing says Jack called her.
it's the
Mm-hmm.
very top one. It says it was at 2:26. It was an answered telephone call, and it went on for almost 17 minutes. So do you recall that phone call?
I do not.
So we have a big question right here. Okay. Big question right here. Why are these officers? Now, this is Idaho State Police. They are saying it was a call from Kaylee to Jack. But in the official, you guys, in the official timeline, according to Christopher Whitcomb and the files that he received on page 232 of the book, it says in November of 2023, investigators with the Moscow Police Department and the Idaho State Police, they produced a formal timeline for the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. That is Bill Thompson's office. So I don't know who did this. I mean, you can have a shared document and have like 20 people working on it. And when you do that, it could be a hot mess, because if you type and then I hit delete, I might delete what you wrote. Like it can be tricky. It can be tricky. If it was one person, why didn't they just say who made this? Who made this document? Instead of saying it was both departments. Plus, here's a big topic of conversation lately, especially over this EWU media lawsuit, the FOIA lawsuit. Who's in charge of this case? Whose case was this? What do you think in the chat? Who is in, like, literally, not figuratively, like, who legally is responsible for this case? It's Moscow. Moscow were the lead. They were the lead in this case. They were the lead. So everything should go to them. Everything should go to them. So one of the contentions, I believe, in this lawsuit, if it's not already brought up, it should be brought up, is that they shouldn't be telling us you got to go to Pennsylvania for Brian's arrest interview, or you got to go to the FBI for these. Everything should have been sent to Moscow. Moscow is the lead investigating department in this case. So they should have made this. They should have made this. They made us, this is a spreadsheet. It was in spreadsheet format. This document provides detailed and insightful glimpses into the crimes themselves, as well as all the people involved. Anyone trying to make sense of information disclosed to the defense would do well to start with an understanding of how police lined things up, transcribed here in their timeline. Is this the timeline that the defense got? Is this only what they gave the defense? I'm just asking questions. I don't know. So when it comes to this phone call, okay, at what did they say? 2:26. This is on page 244 of the book in the official timeline that I'm assuming the defense received. It says Jack D calls Kaylee. They talk for 17:04 minutes. Are they assuming they talked just because the phone connected for 17 minutes? Like I don't think you can make an assumption like that. I mean, someone answered the phone. and it was a live call for 17 minutes. But this came from Jack's phone. This came from Jack's phone. I believe there isn't like nobody can hear those phone calls. So there's not a way to know what was said, I don't think. But so it's definitely a connected call, and Jack just says, I don't remember it either way. But why? My question is, why do we have to keep having all of these contradictions, missing information, hidden information? The police, this is a concrete piece of data. They can't read a phone record the right way and record it the right way. Your jaw would hit the floor for what? You know what I'm saying? This isn't something that's speculative, like one person thinks this and another person thinks this. This is a phone record. Either this person made the call or this person made the call. There's no debate. There's no debate about it. But clearly something got written down wrong. Hey, Christina. Peanut butter balls. Oh, we call those Buckeyes. If it's dark chocolate, those are called Buckeyes because they look like in Ohio we have the Buckeye trees. Hi, Mackenzie. G Beans here. Reading your comments. Reading your comments. Jesse, who did you send me an email? Jesse Locks. Are you talking about someone else? Yes. I've heard people talking about that, Bubbly. I haven't heard it myself. A lot of people say when that phone rings, you can hear it on the camera. All right. Let me see what else I got here. We've got... There's more about the phone call. Oh, here's a good one. Listen to this. This reminds me of Bethany saying, remember when they told Bethany that there was mail found in the extra bedroom, the spare bedroom? And she's like, they found what? They found what? This reminds me of that.
This is just,
I'll go back and see what he said.
it was an answered telephone call, and it went on for almost 17 minutes. So do you recall that phone call?
I do not.
I do not. Sound like Bill Clinton.
Is there audio from that?
I doubt it, but I don't know. This is just, they just emailed.
Is there audio from that? He wants to know. I don't know. The things that they should be able to do today, or even back then in 2022, but, according to, I can't get that off my phone records, but I'm sure it's stored somewhere, right? You would think it's stored somewhere. That's how does he not recall it? I know. That's a problem. There's a lot of problems. Bubbly, work it. I don't know. Okay, phone calls. Okay, so here's more about the phone calls.
Did you have any contact with anybody else that you recall after that until you woke up the next morning? Do you remember Kaylee calling you or texting you?
No, he said
No memory of that.
He said no.
Okay, so last night they sent me printouts from
Here he comes.
phone.
You said you missed calls.
Yeah, I had when I woke up, this was even after I found out about, like, after everything happened, I noticed my phone had, I think, 4 missed FaceTime calls from Kaylee and 3 missed calls from Maddie, along with, I think, 2 more missed calls from Kaylee, so 7 calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. How many?
7 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. 4 of Kaylee's were a FaceTime.
7 from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
So she was
calls from Kaylee were FaceTime calls.
So she was trying to call, and she was trying to FaceTime call, both phone and video call.
And none of them from Maddie were FaceTime. They were all just normal calls.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that normal for y'all to communicate via FaceTime or phone, or what's the preferred method?
Kaylee would call me off the hook quite often.
Call me off the
It's
hook.
not normal for Maddie just to call me, especially 3 times in the middle of the night. But yeah, I mean, Kaylee has called me in the past when, like, she's like walking home and she's just like feels like she's being followed or something. She'll just like.
Did he say something about 3 times during the night? What did he just say?
Maddie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. How many?
7 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. 4 of Kaylee's were a FaceTime.
7 from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
Okay, this is what bothers me. This is concerning to me. I think it's something to, I think there's something to it. Ethan's friend, well, I can't say friend. So is it Cooper Atkinson, I think is the name? FaceTime calls Ethan 5 times rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. 5 times in a row. Not answered any of them. And that's like the end of Ethan's timeline. There's nothing more about Ethan after that. And then here we have kind of like the opposite. We have Kaylee, her phone, rapid firing. I mean, when you hear it, when you hear that they called Jack 7 times, that's one level of wow. But when I read it in print and you see the times that it's like 3 or 4 phone calls in the same minute, you guys. It is rapid fire. Like call, hang up, call, hang up, call, hang up, call, hang up. When do you do that? You do that when it's an emergency. Like, I'm not doing that for a booty call. You're not doing that just like, you know, hey, or maybe if you're suspicious, right? Maybe if you were my boyfriend and I think something's going on at your house and I want to like see, maybe something like that. But that's still a concern. It's very telling. And then to find out that these are FaceTime calls. Like, what did he say? 3 or 4 of them were FaceTime calls. Why are these kids using FaceTime all of a sudden? I don't think that's a normal thing. Like I said before, I think this generation mostly wants to text. They're actually there's calls. There's calls. It says it in here. Here, let me see what I got it in the book, and then we can listen to this again. Let me play this while I'm looking for it. Because they say it. I'm going to start this clip from the beginning again. Or wait, right here. Right. Let's see. Right here.
After everything happened, I noticed my phone had, I think, 4 missed FaceTime calls from Kaylee and 3 missed calls from Maddie, along with, I think, 2 more missed calls from Kaylee. So 7 calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. How many?
7 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. 4 of Kaylee's were a FaceTime.
7 from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
So she was
calls from Kaylee were FaceTime calls.
So she was trying to call, and she was trying to FaceTime call, both phone and video call.
Yep.
And none of them from Maddie were FaceTime. They were all just normal calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that 10 total calls or 11 total calls? I thought they said 7 and 4. Maybe 7 and 3. 7 calls from Kaylee, 3 from Maddie.
Is that normal for y'all to communicate via FaceTime or phone, or what's the preferred method?
Kaylee would call me off the hook quite often.
Call me off the
It's
hook.
not normal for Maddie just to call me, especially 3 times in the middle of the night. But yeah, I mean, Kaylee has called me in the past when like she's like walking home and she's just like feels like she's being followed or something. She'll just like give me a call and just like want to have someone on the phone.
Okay. Did you?
Do you guys need to hear it again? Let me show you. I'm going to mute myself because I know I was making. Don't mute myself while I'm talking. I have Kaylee's timeline right here. So we're going to look at the times because I'm telling you, it just like gives me chills every time I look at it. But here, one more time while I get the camera set up.
Did you have any contact with anybody else that you recall after that until you woke up the next morning? Do you remember Kaylee calling you or texting you?
No, he said
no memory of that. Okay, so last night they sent me printouts from
Here it comes.
phone.
You said you missed calls.
Yeah, I had when I woke up, this was even after I found out about, like, after everything happened, I noticed my phone had, I think, 4 missed FaceTime calls from Kaylee and 3 missed calls from Maddie, along with, I think, 2 more missed calls from Kaylee, so 7 calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. How many?
7 missed calls from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie. 4 of Kaylee's were a FaceTime.
7 from Kaylee and 3 from Maddie.
So
So she was
calls from Kaylee were FaceTime calls.
So she was trying to call, and she was trying to FaceTime call, both phone and video call.
And none of them from Maddie were FaceTime. They were all just normal calls.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that normal for y'all to communicate via FaceTime or phone, or what's the preferred method?
Kaylee would call me off the hook quite often.
Call me off the
It's
hook.
not normal for Maddie just to call me, especially 3 times in the middle of the night. But yeah, I mean, Kaylee has called me in the past when like she's like walking home and she's just like feels like she's being followed or something. She'll just like give me a call and just like want to have someone on the phone.
Okay. Did you?
mic is muted. Thank you for letting me know, you guys. Thank you for letting me know. All right, why is it doing this funky thing again? I don't know. I don't know what I do. Look, I can take my paper away and it's still there. Why is it doing that? I keep saying I need to watch a tutorial on this thing. I want that. No. Nope. Nope. I hate messing with this thing. I don't want drawing mode. Just be normal. Can we just be normal, please? All right. Still doing it. Still doing it. Okay. Now watch when I add, I'm going to add in Maddie's. I'm going to add in Maddie's. After you see it. After you see it. Okay. Who just said hello? Hey, Karmic Retribution. Hello, hello, hello. So I think we can fill in some of these gaps here. Okay. So 243 Kaylee, 244 Kaylee, 244 Kaylee, 247 Kaylee. So they took what, a 3-minute? There's a 3-minute break. So I'm like, to me, let me know in the comments what you guys think is happening here. Like this, to me, this seems frantic. To me, it's urgent. If they are inside 1122 or they are inside 1122 and something's happening, I explained this before. I feel like they're beginning to get like a bad feeling. Because I don't feel like they're in imminent danger, or they wouldn't be calling Jack. They'd be calling 911. But to me, it feels like it's urgent. I need to, something's going on. Hey, what's wrong, or what's going on, or what are you doing? Or I don't know. And then with this 3-minute gap here, like, what are they doing? Are they checking something out? Are they calling somebody? They're not calling anybody else. 247. And then after 247, there's another 3-minute gap, And then at 250, Maddie calls Jack. 251, Maddie calls Jack. 251, Maddie calls back Jack. 252, Maddie calls. That's to Xana and Bethany. So 3 calls to Jack. And then a call to Xana and a call to Bethany. This makes me think something is going on. Their activity stops. There. Kaylee and Maddie. We're calling Jack. There's a reason they're calling Jack. I can't figure out what it is. It's like they think he knows what's going on or something. I don't know. Or maybe can we get out of here and run to your house? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. And then for some reason, Kaylee does not call anybody else. Kaylee's not able to call anybody else, or doesn't call anybody else after 253. 253, she's calling Jack Maddie's calling Xana and Bethany. Can you imagine if they're both in the same room and they're like, hey, I'm going to keep calling Jack. Okay, I'm going to try Xana. Okay, now I'm calling Bethany. What's going on? Kaylee's phone is calling Jack repeatedly. Then Maddie tries to call Jack. Kaylee doesn't call anybody else, but Maddie calls Xana and Maddie calls Bethany. So weird. So weird. I just think it's different when you see it on paper. Like, it gave me the chills the first day I went through this timeline. Let me close that. There we go. Let's see your comments. The Hollyberry UK. Hello, it's good to see you today. You think they knew something was wrong, but not exactly. I know. That's what I think too. Totally agree with you. Oh, I'm sure this communication log is incomplete, Witchy. I am sure. And I saw who said they were going to FOIA. I think Jules might have said she was going to FOIA the log timeline from the book. And then Lana was talking about, oh, she's going to FOIA the log from the lawsuit. Maddie kept calling while Kaylee went to help. What if Kaylee went to go check out what was going on? What if that's the going up and down the steps and it's at 2:53 and not 4:20? Kaylee leaves the room because they're in there. What if they're in their room? They're hearing stuff downstairs. They're calling Jack like, hey, but he's not answering. He's not answering. Maybe is he the only like trusted person that's like, not in whatever group was responsible for doing this? They didn't call. Maddie called Xana and Bethany, did not call Dylan. Also did not call Ethan, the guy in the house. Dylan had left, but not called because there's a couple things I have come across that I'm wondering who was exactly in the house all night. One of the big ones to me, I was going back and I was reading some of the court documents, and when it was about Bethany, I was looking at the subpoenas to get her to come interview, and the defense, the way they always word it, they always say that Bethany has unique information to her based on what she saw and based on what she heard. But they also say, how do they word it? Because she was at the house 8 hours later. Like, they don't say Bethany was at the house during the time of the crimes. They don't word it that way. They say Bethany was at the house 8 hours later. It's very weird. I don't like using that word. It's very something to look at. It sticks out. It sticks out to me. Xana and Bethany not answering Maddie's calls would be very important. They would be very important. Yeah. And the other thing is, I don't know if Bethany ever gets asked about that. They're asking Jack about his missed phone calls. which is good. It's good. I know that's the way they word it. That Bethany was, I wish I don't have anything in front of me right now to quote from, but everything I was looking up about Bethany having to go back to interview worded it that way. Hey, love Tina. Hey, the Deline one. I would have called them downstairs first to see if they needed help or something first. Yeah. Well, I think they did. Oh, Kaylee didn't. Maybe it was evident. Maybe it was obvious they needed help. Maybe it was obvious. It's very curious, isn't it? It's very curious. And we could be, look, this is complete speculation. We are just speculating over the only thing factual here is the interview, the words from the interview that we're listening to. Okay. And I know some people on the internet want to, kind of trash us and be like, why are you talking about all these crazy things? Because they're making us, because they're hiding the true information. Give us the true information and we won't have to try to fill in the blanks. Have I seen Emily's recent post? No, I saw people talking about it yesterday. Emily's recent post and Josie's along with Beth's all posted the same day and they're cryptic. All music and specific little remarks. Ooh, what are your thoughts about it, Karmic? I got to check that out. We've caught them in conflicting information, I will say, Witchy. I'll try to be politically correct. We've caught them with conflicting information, just like today, right now, live on this show. Did Jack D call Kaylee or did Kaylee call Jack D? It's a simple question. It's easy to find out, right? Lots of conflicting information. So people were calling them Idaho. Now we've got Idaho. I saw a third one too. I can't remember what it was. Redactaho. I don't know. They're getting some nicknames. Oh, I got to look at those TikToks. Interesting. Okay. Let me see what other clips I got from Jack D here. The dog. Oh, this one. Okay. Now this one is about Saturday afternoon. Okay. When they're at the Whites. So supposedly everybody from 1122 is over at the Whites. Supposedly they get there between 2 and 3, 2:30 and 3. And they're asking Jack D about a phone call. So, look at this.
Friday. She sends you a message, says, call me.
Okay.
At 10:05 p.m.
That was.
And then the next day at 3 in the afternoon.
So Friday, there was communication. Friday night was the Pi Beta Phi sorority formal. That's the one that Dylan asked Kaylee to come to with her. And they went to it, but they were not there very long. And I have a list somewhere of everybody who went to it, but they only went to the Pi Phi house. They did not go to the actual formal. Everybody was getting on a bus to go to the actual, like wherever they were having the formal. They did not go to that. They went to the house and then they went home. And I thought there's got to be something to that also. Did Did the Pi Pis want Kaylee in that house? Did Kaylee want to get into that house? Did Dylan want her? I don't know. To me, I think when we're looking at relationships, we've listened to all the interviews, we've listened to all the officers ask who's friends with who's best friend, who hangs out with who, and we're looking at who is with each other the weekend, through the whole weekend. Where does Dylan fit into all that? She does go to places they are. Like she's at the Whites. She goes with Xana to Allie's. So I don't know. Sometimes you have like different degrees of friendship. So I mean, no shade about that. You're like a little bit close with everybody, but not super close with anybody, if that makes sense. So all right, let me get to this.
Friday, she sends you a message, says, call me
Okay.
at 10:05 p.m.
That was
And then the next day, 3:30.
So Friday night, 10:05 p.m., Kaylee, I think he said, texts Jack for him to call her. Let me look. Let me look at Kaylee's timeline here. Oh wait, I don't have Friday night, do I? Friday night is Dylan's. Dylan gives us, I think, nope. Oh, I have extra information about Kaylee. Hold on, let me see. I have extra information about Kaylee. Let me see. Nope. Let me see if I have anything on here from Dylan. No, I do not. That's something for me to look at. The information about them Friday night at the Pi Phi formal. I should have added that to her timeline from the book.
Afternoon.
That was around the formal time, wasn't it? Around the time of the formal Friday night?
She says, we share a dog. Can you please answer the phone? Where are you?
What was that? These are the messages that Steve Consalvis was talking about. What time was that?
And then on the 11th, Friday, she sends you a message, says, call me at 10:05 p.m. And then the next day, 3 in the afternoon, she says, we share a dog. Can you please answer the phone? Where are you answering the phone?
I'm not sure. Was I at work at that time?
I don't know.
I did work Friday night. But I didn't know if that's.
So it sounds like Jack was blowing Kaylee off the whole weekend. What do you guys think? Was Jack just not answering her phone? Her phone calls, she tried to call him Friday night, 10:05. He didn't answer. She calls him Saturday at like 3 in the afternoon. No answer. She's like completely blowing up his phone Saturday night. I mean, he's just avoiding her. I mean, no. If I got broke up with, I might be avoiding your phone calls too. But they had been broken up, I believe, since like at least early October, right? I'm looking for the part in the book about Dylan. About the Pi Phi dance. And I need to add those calls to the timeline. Dylan's is bulleted. I can probably find it real quick. Here it is. I got it. That's Saturday night. So here we go. This is on page 153 of the book. And it says, so the formal on Friday was Ethan, Hunter Chapin, Emily, Josie, Josie's boyfriend, Lyndon, Jenna, Claire, Hayden, Gideon, Yessie, Lisa, Matt, and Aaron. And then all their dates. So a big group of people, right? Maddie Thornton and Lakeland. And Lakeland had a date named Hayden. They all went to the Pi-Fi house. She said they went home at 8:30. They went home at 8:30. And I think they usually had to be at the house at 7, probably somewhere around 7. Like they need to meet at the house. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to dive into this more on my own, but interesting. It, to me, like what I'm getting out of this is that even starting Friday night, Jack's not answering Kaylee's phone calls. And you know what else we found out? Where did I get this from? Did I just play it? Wednesday, maybe my live from Wednesday. Kaylee was not moved out of the house. Kaylee was not moved out of the house. It was an interview we were listening to. We were listening to somebody's interview, and she clearly said, it's probably Bethany. She said Kaylee went home for the weekend, and it was Parents' Day weekend. Parents' weekend. So the weekend before the murders, Kaylee just went home for the weekend. So Kaylee was not moved out of that house. She was not moved out of that house. Whoops. Okay. I also have a big question about who lived in that 6th roommate. I gotta dive into that. All right. Another thing that Jack gives us, which I feel like if we would have heard this before Broken Plea, the book, before the book came out, this probably would have been, it would have been a bigger bombshell to me. It would have been a name that I probably hadn't heard before, but this name was in the book. This is a person that Kaylee was seeing. Hey, sausage biscuits, where did we even get that from? Like, I don't know where that information came from. So I don't know how true that is. I know it's a rumor. I know people were saying it, but I'm like, who started that? Where did that come from? Was it in an interview? Like, if it came from that family, we are finding many statements that are being contradicted in the documents and the interviews that we're seeing from other people, right? Yep. It probably came from an interview, so I don't give a whole lot of weight to that, okay? Just me. Just me.
Girls that could be problems. Okay.
And he says a Wazoo student is a.
I want you to.
Okay. So now at this point, the detective is saying, I'm going to run some names by you and you give me like your thoughts on if there's any issues with these people. Okay. And so there's a couple little nuggets in here. Something about Wazoo and then another Delta guy.
You be thinking in your mind any guys associated with these girls that could be problems.
Okay.
Okay.
And he says a Wazoo student is a problem. Let's listen.
Did have a boyfriend. I hung out with him a few times.
Who is
I
the?
don't have
Who
any
is it?
concern about him or anything, but she did have a boyfriend. He was a Wazoo student. I hung out with him a few times.
Who is
I
the?
don't have
Who
any
is it?
concern about him or anything, but she did have a boyfriend. He was a Wazoo student.
Who is this? Wazoo student. That's a problem. Could be a problem. Who is this? That's interesting.
I'll throw another name out there. I just know he hit up Kaylee multiple times while Kaylee and I were dating, just saying like hey and stuff, and never really gave into anything. But his name was Kaylee. I remember even once was like, dude, I have a boyfriend, stop. And after that I had messaged again and said hey. And it's usually when he's drunk, but
I just thought that.
I think it's pronounced Rungi.
Oh, I cut that off short. Maybe there's a part 2. But so clearly they were saying there's somebody at Washington State University, according to Jack DeCoeur, there is a guy at Washington State University that Kaylee, I'm assuming they're still talking about Kaylee, or this could be the Maddie part. I thought they were talking about Maddie. Again, these are clips. This is the first time we listen to it. I'm just, at this point, I'm just pointing things out. I'm not, however, I'm like interpreting it right now. I could be way off. But these are like the little segments that I've heard so far that I'm like, wow. Once we get like this whole video uninterrupted, we'll be able to like listen to it in its full context and make sense of all this. Okay. So please don't take anything I'm like thinking out loud and asking about as like fact. It's just, these are the things that I need to hear again. I need to hear it in the full uninterrupted interview. I need to corroborate and try to find some other context around it. Right. Yeah. So, however, Eric Runge, okay, let's talk about him. So that was the last name that Jack just dropped. So somebody from WSU, I'm assuming they're talking about Kaylee right here, but I kind of have a feeling this might be Maddie. And then Eric Runge, and I say Runge. He was saying Rungy. I don't know. Runge. He is in the book. And he's a Delta Tau Delta. And it does say in the book that oh my goodness, I thought he had dated Kaylee. Let me look at her. I wrote down a lot of extra information about Kaylee that I found. He was like the treasurer. And this is what I thought. I pointed this out earlier, right away when I saw this earlier, like weeks ago when I was doing Kaylee's timeline. When you're in I keep calling it the council, like the officers, when you're the officers of any organization, you have to have meetings. Like they have to be getting together, I would assume, and planning things and discussing things. And then here you have 2 officers, Eric Runge, who was the treasurer, I believe. And then you have Mason Barstow. Wasn't he the president of the Delts? They both dated Kaylee. And I thought, oof, awkward, awkward. And if she, and what's even more awkward about that is that supposedly Kaylee and Jack had just broke up in October. So that's like a month and a half. Within a month and a half, how many? I mean, no shade, girl. Do you play that field? Play the field. I don't know the correct way. I think it's Eric. Am I saying it wrong? I thought it was Eric. Let me check. I could be wrong. Wait, let me see. Maybe it is Ethan. Thank you for always asking and checking me, Witchy. I appreciate that because I don't want to say things wrong. Wait, I thought I had a whole nother packet for Kaylee. Let's see. Nope. No, I'm going to have to look in the book for it. Shoot. Ethan. I don't have my notebook full of notes in here either. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Kaylee. Kaylee's Big and Littles. I probably also, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. On page 291, Jack DeCoeur is talking about her hanging out with Mason Barstow, the vice president of Delta Tau Delta. Okay, that's the vice president. And this is in Rosinski's report. Jack's also talking about, he's the one that brings up her meeting a guy for Texas. I know Eric's name is in here. Eric or Ethan? That's the question, you guys. Eric or Ethan? Witchy, do you have the book? Do you know what page it's on? Am I missing it? I'm not looking at chat. I'm not looking at chat. Oh, here's the other thing I was going to tell you about Kaylee and Jack's relationship. Okay, page 298 of the book. Sergeant Cortez is from Idaho State Police on November 18th. And then there's a Chris Pohanka is also an Idaho State Police officer. They interviewed Kristen Zoe Wannenberg. Okay. She was Kaylee's sorority sister. Sorority sister. Here it goes. This Kristen named Ethan. Oh, it is Ethan. Thank you for correcting me. It's Ethan. Ethan Runge. Oh my God. I kept saying Eric. I had Eric on the brain. Ethan Runge, however you say it, and Mason Barstow. She said that's who Kaylee was romantically involved with after Jack. I don't know. I just think that would cause some feelings. From October to November 13th, 12th. You're talking 6 weeks. So in 6 weeks, you're hanging out with 2 guys from the Delts. And if they find out, they might have feelings. Also, Mason Barstow said that Kaylee apologized to him, I think at the Whites party on Saturday. What was she apologizing about? About Ethan? About Ethan Runge? And then now there's a guy from Wazoo? You go, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then here's what Kristen Wannenberg had to say about Kaylee and Jack. She said Kaylee described Jack to her as her child and was not a serious guy. Jack was in Beta Theta Pi fraternity, and they all hung out together since they lived next door. She described Gonsalves and Jack as a brother and sister relationship. Bum, bum, bum. Which is the questions I started off this show with. I started with that clip about, it seems like it's about Jack. So let's not take that as fact. I don't want to go out here spreading rumors or huge speculations or anything like that. I do think it's a clip worth paying attention to. Was there something more to the dynamic of Kaylee and Jack's relationship, to Jack's other possible relationships? I can't wait to go back and listen to this interview like uninterrupted so I can kind of hear the whole context. And then I love having this book to go back and compare to. And then also the documents. Don't forget about the police reports to be able to go back and verify things with too. So I think I am going to, let me just double check, make sure I didn't have any other clips I didn't want to end before I show you. So we listened to clips about the 17-minute phone call. We listened to the boyfriend question about Jack. We listened about Ethan Runge. We listened about Murphy, right? This interview let us find out that Kaylee bought Murphy all by herself. The phone calls from Kaylee and Maddie during that time frame, I think that is, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to identifying these time frames that we need to pay attention to. And I don't know, somehow we got to add more. We got to find the facts behind it to be able to add the context. Yeah. Coming back to the chat. Let me see what you guys had to say. Yeah, being super comfortable with each other. You know, it happens. It can happen naturally in a relationship to grow apart. Being that young is kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for them, but do we know for sure that Dylan lured her back, or was that just a rumor? The luring, that's maybe exaggerated. It is written in the book that Dylan asked Kaylee to go to the formal with her. I don't know if it goes into the details of how, like a lot of people think she went to her aunt's house and like drove all the way out there. I'll have to look again I need to make a list of all these questions, but I'll just go back and listen to this, and everything that I'm raising questions about, I'm going to go back, and that'll be my next episode. I'll make sure on Monday when I come back, I find as much information as I can for the questions we started today. Great question about that one. Let's see. Sausage biscuits. Kaylee had to have been staying somewhere else, or Dylan wouldn't have had to convince her to come back that weekend. Well, that's the part that I'm not sure where that came from, the convincing her to come back. All it says, the way it's worded in the book, I believe, again, this is one of those things I'm going to go back. I will vet it out more and see exactly. I'll see if I can ask around and see where that narrative came from. Maybe somebody said it, maybe a family member said it. Maybe it was in an interview on TV. I don't know. But the book, I'm pretty sure, just says Kaylee was Dylan's date for the formal. Like, that's how it's worded. And then another a statement that we have is that Kaylee went home for the weekend of November 4th, like home to Coeur d'Alene, meaning she's still living in the house. And if you look at her bedroom, it doesn't look moved out. It does not look moved out. I'm reading your comments. A shady move to do to your frat brother. Yeah. I've seen worse. I've seen family members, girlfriends hop from. Thanks for dropping the creators' links in the chat, mods. I appreciate you guys. That's Adam's girlfriend, Kristen. Okay, thank you. All right, you guys. Well, please go over to Jules' True Crime Reactions and watch the video over there from her. She gives a lot of good insight as she was watching it last night, because she knows like all the things about the case. And I hope that these clips, just picking out these little clips of things to look for. The timestamp for the clip I started out with about Jack is like 4:14 mark, 4 hour. It's a 4-hour video, like 4:14. 4 hours and 14 minutes into her video. So still paying for the room. Yeah. I have a lot of questions about that 6th room, the spare room. Ashlyn Couch came out and spoke out and said she was the one that rented that room originally, but then decided not to. She spoke about in Howard Bloom's book, but then in this book, there are interviews going on, and someone is naming a Sophia Whitehead, which apparently lives in Boise. I'm catching things in different interviews about this room. It's very curious. Someone else. When you listen to this interview, this is something I did not clip. So if you go over to Jules' channel and you're listening, you'll come to a part where they start asking Jack about somebody. Oh, they do ask that it starts with an S. And so I'm like, ooh, is it Sophia? Because they're talking about the room. So the spare room does come up with questions to Jack. And to me, it seems like he's bringing up another person, like another person that lived in that house and was like way older than Kaylee and had moved out way before Kaylee. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on with this room? Maybe that's one of the keys. I don't know. I can't remember, Love Tina. I can't remember. It was their office. Okay. I still think this whole crime had to do with drugs somehow. That's just my theory. And the house, something with the house. And if for some reason they're trying to like keep this extra room, I don't know. What are they trying to keep that room for? Is it just storage? I don't know. Just weird. Ruby had lived there. Yeah. Lots of people have lived there. Lots of names. and yeah, it's good to know like who lived there, but like who's paying for this room now in 2022 that's not like moved in. And there's two people. Well, no, Ashlyn said she like, I don't think she was paying anymore. They're saying Sophia Whitehead was paying. So that's the difference. I think Ashlyn, according to like the documentaries and her own interviews and stuff, she said, yeah, I was supposed to move in with them, but then I decided not to. So let me write this down. I think I just threw like a million topics out there right now that we need to look into. I'm going to start to get overwhelmed again. Oh my gosh. Sophia Whitehead is on the dock. Which dock? On the dock. The one that I was showing just now or a little bit ago. The 112 house, the 1122 house is not like an official frat house or sorority house, but typically all the people from the same sorority will live together. Oh, do we have a name for that? You are focused on that, aren't you? You have always said something about the bathroom, the bathtub. Did they hide the supply under the foundation in the bathtub? Is there a secret compartment? Sophia and Ruby are interesting and know everyone. All right. Yeah. Thank you for all your wonderful comments and information, you guys. I appreciate you all so much. Before I end this, if you would please take a moment to hit the like button, I would appreciate that. If you are new here to this channel, I certainly hope you'll subscribe so you'll get notified and you can come back and join me. I go live weekdays. I shoot for 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. You can see like today I started at noon, but I usually try to stay around that time and usually for a couple hours. I cover all true crime, focusing on the Idaho 4, especially as things come out. But I'm happy to see so many people joining in today. If you're watching on the replay, please leave me some comments. I've been responding to everybody. And tomorrow night, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, every Saturday at 6 p.m., I join Dago from the True Crime Cafe with Dago and Logan from the Bronx Tales and Mike from The Last 24 on the Mic. And we do a panel show called The Verdict Room. And sometimes we have guests on that we interview for different topics. And sometimes we just have our own panel discussion about usually the hot Idaho 4 topic for the week. So I hope you will come back tomorrow evening and join me for that. And I will see you guys on Monday also. I am going to dive into all these questions and topics that we just pointed out today. Have a great weekend. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. I'm clocking out. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. That could be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here. letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.